Good morning, everybody. It's me, David Brown. This week's Design and Dialogue is all about interviewing. I know there are many of you that are starting to interview with layoffs and looking for new jobs, and so I thought it might be good to share 3 tips on how you can ace any interview. And this goes for 1 interview, 3 interviews, or the interviews you have for the rest of your life. Not only the ones for new companies, but as you start to get promoted or interview for a different job in the same organization, these 3 tips are going to serve you well. So, what is the first tip? The first tip is know how to tell your story. This is critical. I've talked about this a lot in some design and dialogues throughout the year, but it is key that you understand how to tell your story in a clear and concise way. Understand what the measurements of success have been in your previous jobs and be able to talk about how you achieved or exceeded those measurements of success. Make it a story. Be able to talk about it. That way, whomever's interviewing you can start to understand the type of employee you can be and how you're going to fit and excel in their organization. So make sure you know how to talk about it. Make sure you know how to tell your story. Number 2, and this kind of feeds off number 1, but number 2 is important enough to be separate. Do not make the interview all about you. Now, yes, you've got to know some things, and there's some questions you want to get answered and conversations you want to have to assess if this is the right job for you, but you can't make it all about you. You've got to make it a two-way street, and through telling your story in a clear and concise way, you're giving back to that interview team what they're looking for, how you can benefit them. Just keep it in mind. Make sure that every interview you have is a two-way street, and don't make it all about yourself. Number 3, and probably my favorite and most important, is have gratitude. Have gratitude and show it always. Show it when you meet with them. Show it when the interview is over. Show it after the interview in a note or an email. Make sure that you are sharing your gratitude for their time, their expertise, their answering of your questions, etc. Show gratitude every time you can at every point in the interview process. And that's it, everybody. 3 tips that you need to take with you and make sure you achieve every interview you have, and you'll ace all those interviews. Have a great week, everybody. I'll see you next week in next Wednesday's Design and Dialogue. As always, please like, share, and follow this channel. I want to make sure that those people that are interested in these topics around architecture and interior design and design overall get to see these videos. Till next week, have a great week.